What's up, everyone? So I promised you guys to bring back the monthly update. So that is exactly what we're here to bring you. We got some awesome stuff going on around the rescue. So let's dive into it. All right, first and foremost, I just got a mouthful of salt. Someone obviously used one of my drain hoses and put in salt. That tasted horrible, but let's see what's going on. What do we got going on here? This is the 240-gallon quarantine tank. I was going to move these fish today, which is kind of unfortunate because I just looked on him and the flagtail is sick. He's got some white spots all over him. It is not ick, it is velvet. I will clear it up, you know, pretty quick. That's why I'm doing a massive water change on the tank right now. We'll go ahead and bump the heat up and treat it with a little bit of medication. But this is why I stick to quarantining for so long. These guys were in quarantine for weeks, and then the last day the flagtail ends up getting sick. This is why we go through a rigorous amount of quarantine to be able to keep our fish healthy. Because if I would have added that flagtail into any of my display tanks, then my fish could have gotten sick, and that would have been a big no-no. So we're gonna go ahead and finish up with the water changes on that 240. Simultaneously, I am doing a water change on this 135. I did remove it from the system. Well, this little red-tail Pyara, the red-tail tat, has gotten sick on me like 4 times, and he's now starting to eat. He's doing really good. Same thing with this arapaima. He's eating really good, so I'm not worried about him, but I did have to take it off the system to be able to treat him. I wanted him to thrive. He's now got his sickness cleared up, and he is eating every single day now. So I feel like this is the last time I'm gonna have to treat this tank. And also we had the clown loaches that came in. There's 5 of them in here. If you see, you can see them clown loaches. They are one of my favorites, but these guys are super susceptible to ick. So I went ahead and treated this tank because it started with the red-tail Pyara and moved to the clown loaches. So I went ahead and treated it. Everyone is good. As you can see, I had a heater in here, bumped the temp up to 86 degrees, treated with a little bit of medication, and cleared that sickness right up. Now we're doing a water change on them. If they are good for about 3 days or so, I feel comfortable putting these guys back on the system. Get a little glimpse of the tanks as we walk by. This tigerfish is getting massive. He is going on a super huge growth spurt. This thing eats every single day, and he is pretty much the alpha of this tank. I did try to put this gold dorado in there and absolutely said, hell to the no. You are not putting that fish in here with me. So I had a fun time trying to catch the dorado right back out. I knew it was a possibility, but I was thinking being a VATF, they might get along. I threw them in there. The tigerfish started checking them out. Nothing too bad. So I went ahead and pulled the dorado and left the tigerfish in here, and he is getting super fat. I absolutely love this fish. Same thing with my little Goliath tiger. He's putting on some nice size. All them biters I showed you guys in the 240 are eventually going to go into this tank. I'm going to do a big kind of round Susan here, and we're going to do a bunch of mashups on tanks because I got some fish to move. Like I've got stingrays in here that I can bump up to the stingray tank once again. Like this is probably a 16-inch ray. I can put her up in there, no problem whatsoever. I can probably pull this big girl, possibly the albino, and try and clear out some more room in these tanks. But there's something I want to get ready to do. So out here, let me go ahead and turn these lights on. Voila. So you guys know we have that 1,000-gallon back there. You guys have been asking about it. When are we going to get this tank up and rolling? Well, I know it's been in the back of my mind, and I want to get it up and rolling. Of course, the pond still looks awesome. It's a little high right now, so it's not skimming off the top. That's little white bubbles you see. So I'm actually draining the level right now. But All I have to do to get this tank on the system is pretty much plumb it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and use one side, plumb it in, run it straight back to our waterfalls, to the monster pond. I then have to get a brand new pump, hook it up, pipe it in, run it in line with these guys, run it over into the back side of this tank, and go ahead and put it in here. But that's not enough. We're gonna go ahead and do a bubble wall across the back, just so we can get that water movement in the tank. So I'm gonna do that while the tank is dry. We're gonna have, of course, water flow on this right side. And then I wanna get some sort of individual filtration on this tank alone, because kind of like here, like this bass tank has, you know, filtration on it alone, but this Frontosa tank just has pass-through, and we're gonna go ahead and put some more filtration on this Frontosa tank as well. We just want to make sure that this tank has enough filtration on it that it can be sparkling clear. We do have this back door right here, so it's going to get some sort of natural light in there. We might have to tint this glass right here so the sun can't get through, if it's even a problem. But this tank will be set up soon, and she'll be on our system just when I get a wild hair, crawl under there and plumb it in. I'm not gonna say it's gonna take a couple months, but you know, now it's getting a little bit warmer out here. I don't mind, you know, crawling back there and setting it all up. So this will be coming in the very near future. Hey, we still have a little bit of a selection on the Chatcoy as well. It turned into a giant hailstorm, so not a lot of people came out to pick them up, but I had a ton of messages on them. I did have a few people who won the auction. They went ahead and came and picked up their fish, and as you guys seen in that last video, my dad picked up a tank, and there's likely going to be some plans for that one as well, which you guys will learn in upcoming videos. All right, so I've talked about it before, but we're gonna, you know, kind of come back to the idea of this new filter 2.0. You know, we kind of discussed the idea of taking this tank out of here completely, and then we would have 8 foot by 9 foot, a perfect square that we can build a huge sump and use it for the filtration. And then we have this whole area here, which is probably about 6 by 3. And me and my dad have been going back and forth as to how we want to do this filtration, and we've been coming up with ideas. And we think that we have it somewhat figured out, but there's a few things that are up in the air still that we want to make sure get taken care of before we go ahead and start building. So along with that, you know, our plan is that we will go ahead and start building the filtration. Once everything is done, the last thing that'll be done is the plumbing itself to tie it into the fish tanks. We're gonna leave the old filter in place and running until we're ready to basically cut the lines and say we need water in this thing right now. What would moving this filtration to the other room exactly do for us? Well, for one, this whole filter box would then be gone, and there'd really be no need for our clear water reservoir back there. So we could basically do away with it and have all this room to do something, either more tanks, open this up, something like that. That would be the immediate benefit to all of this, although we would kind of ruin our pothos grow operation here. As you can see, it's just been growing tremendously well all over the place. It's just exploded, going up on top of the tanks, all over the place. So that's essentially what it can do for us. It's a lot of work, but it'll essentially make all the tanks look that much better. What I mean by that, more flow, more water going through the tank. So if I feed and there's particulates in the water, it'll take less time for the water to go back clean. My water does stay clean as is. Everyone is always wowed and amazed by it. But I have some plans coming up here soon that involves the stingrays and whatnot. So I'll have a very special video coming out on that. We've got some big plans in the near future. So we're going to start working on that. I can't let too much out of the bag regarding that, but it will be a fun couple of videos once those happen, which will be in the next week or two. And as you know, the weather is getting warmer. There is lots of work to do outside, meaning we have to clean the ponds. We have to get them ready for summer. We have to set up our outdoor koi holding tubs, and that's going to be a lot of work in itself. But while I'm over here, I added more of these rosaline sharks to the Bellagio tank, and they are doing phenomenal. There are 7 of them in there now. Absolutely love those things. Can't get enough of them. Okay, so just to wrap everything up, business as usual. Got fish coming and going. You guys know that. We are working on the design for the filtration. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and get that tank up and rolling. And we're going to be moving some fish around to make some room for some new plans, which you guys will know very, very soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little update video. We will get you in the next one. Stay fishy, my friends.